Among those singular situations in fishing that call with siren song for the angler after a long winter season are those moments of springtime promise for shallow fish. The crappie is among the most popular of all target species at this time. As always, the quest is to find the right time and place, then just the right lure for the situation at hand.
Beautiful respawn crappie. Look at those guys. Look at that, he just ate that little atomic fry, that little Berkeley jig, tiny little 32nd ounce. And gorgeous, gorgeous fish. It was a cold night last night, and these fish in the spring, it's really interesting to follow their movements because a lot of different things go on between ice out and by the time these actually will spawn, which is going to be several weeks away. The water's in the upper 50-degree range. We're about 3 weeks from ice out, so there's been a back and forth pattern. So we're finding some deeper clumps of reeds that they seem to be setting into at this point after this cool night. Now later we may find them moving up shallower, but boy, they're just gorgeous when you find them. Little jump even. Now the location for these crappies is one of the real keys finding them. As I said, we're on a big lake, and it's even a big bay on a big lake, that there's a lot of movement going on. And once you get the fish, you know, it's a subtle bait. This little action tail on that atomic fry is just the kind of little thing. It's hard for them to resist that set right in their face. Yeah, it's hard to see these reeds now. They're chopped off by the ice, but they are down there. They're really pretty good clumps under the water, and pretty soon they'll be growing. But they're quite thick, and that's the best cover around where those crappies will really draw the man like a magnet. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, Mr. Crappie. Beautiful fish, not quite as big as that last one, but nice crappies. They're all nice. Variety of sizes. I'll show you that neat thing about that bubble for presenting something like this atomic fry. It's a very, very slick system, because when you're working a variety of cover like bulrushes, nice fish. And these little adjustable bubbles are really a handy way and very efficient way of working a tiny jig. I don't think this even weighs 1/32 ounce, you know, minute, but it gives you a little bit of weight and power to really fling it out there. It's also easy to adjust the depth that you're fishing. You know, these reeds are out here deep. They're running as deep as 4 feet, so we're sitting at about 3, but in some shallow areas I can adjust it, and with a simple twist of the rubber band inside the bubble, holds your line tight, does no damage whatsoever to pinch the line, and is easily, you know, set. It's up to about 4 or 5 feet. Beyond that, you're better off with a slip float. Notice that it's got the large side down toward the lure. It's the opposite of the way a float would look, and that's what helps you to cast further and propel your bait further. The big end is out, and it lays on the water flat, and when a fish bites, they very, very easily pull that underneath completely out of sight, and then you know you've got one. There you go. Ha 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 ha! Here you go. There we go. All right. Ooh, there's another dark one. Yes, they've been moving up shallow, and I changed over to a little power tube. Another good option for springtime crappie. Let's put him back, and then I'll show you several really good possibilities and different lures that you can experiment with. The atomic fry was working, and then it got slow, and the white, and it's changing up that has turned the trick on this one. Today we're having a lot of success both on the power bait 1-inch power tube and the new atomic fry. The action tails on these have been real spectacular. Sometimes crappie are feeding more on invertebrates. These fish seem to be on a minnow diet, a lot of bait fish here. But the nymph is a really good action presentation that looks like a lot of these larval insects. And of course, for a more horizontal look, the grub is just fine, and particularly when the crappies are active. But a little bit off today. We had a cold morning, and as they get closer to the spawn, the water warms higher into the 60s. You can do well with the grub. And then, of course, the gulp, alive. Great baits, again, where they're feeding on invertebrates. The leech shape, as well as the cricket, a really, really good option.